Well, let's go back to the studio, and it's over to you, Kel.
Full time at the Etihad Stadium at Manchester City are through to the next round of the Carabao Cup after that 2-0 win against Brentford. A special goal from Ryan Shirky in the first half, and that man who was just on your screen put the game to bed in the second half. Second goal came from Savinho. A great night for Manchester City and their academy as well. We think Charlie Gray coming on in around the 80th minute makes it the 37th academy debut under Pep Guardiola. What a special night for City and the academy. I've got Luke and Stephen alongside me here in the studio. Luke, another day at the office, job done into the next round. How pleased were you with that performance?
Yeah, really pleased. It was quite comfortable in the end. I'm really, proud of that performance there. 2-0. It's not easy to, play so often like we do, make so many changes. We saw it in that game against Leverkusen, how it can go the wrong way, and it went definitely the right way tonight. What a goal from Cherky. And in the second half, we just did the job. It was comfortable. And like you said there, into the semi-final. I think the last 4 times we made the semi-final, not only did we make the final, but we won the whole competition in a row. So, that's the furthest we've made it in since then. And what? We can get there again.
That good old little omen there from Luke. Hello. Stephen, obviously we played well. I didn't feel we really had to get out of third gear tonight. I don't know if you maybe felt the same or what your assessment was.
Yeah, no, I think City were comfortable tonight, to be honest. Brentford had a couple of decent moments, but largely City were in control, and I think City really wanted it tonight, to be honest. And looking at the players on the pitch now, and they're very happy to be in that semi-final, and you can tell, that they want to be there. And I thought we were good. We were in control. We obviously set up the game tonight to keep the ball, smother them, and that was obviously an intention given the fact there was no real focal point in the team with no striker, and it worked. And I thought City tonight in a very miserable Etihad Stadium, by the way, it was like we stayed indoors because it was minging out there tonight, but in a very difficult pitch to play in. I thought City were really impressively in control against a good Brentford side.
We spoke about Ryan Shirky at half-time. Let's start with him again, because he also got player of the match here in the studio, and there was an incredible stat here now with that goal, which was an absolute worldie. If you've not seen it, wait till you see it on Manchester City's channels, I'm sure very, very soon. One, the technique, the finish, but also, Luke, that now means in 10 starts for Manchester City, it's 13 goals and assists in them 10 games.
I mean, those numbers are like the guy we can see on the screen there, Erling Haaland. It's ridiculous, and he's playing, far further back than Haaland is. Saw him in that first Premier League game of the season away at Wolves, come off the bench and make an impact straight away with a goal. We saw him in the Club World Cup as well, and people were saying he's looking really the business here. And then since he's come back from that injury, he's been absolutely unbelievable. Since that Bournemouth game where he picked up 2 assists, he's just doing it every time. So that's exactly what we want. Unbelievable signing, bargain as well, Ryan Shirky. And he's done it again tonight. Real Christmas cracker of a goal, like I said before. Yeah,
it really, really was. Moving into the second half, Savinho, who was a constant threat. What did you make of his performance? Because he struggled to find his rhythm, but how pleased will he be, and how much could that help him get in that goal?
I think he's been getting better and better actually recently. I mean, he didn't start the season particularly well. There was a lot of noise and speculation around him that hung over him at the start of the season. I think Pep's words have been really pertinent in press conferences. He's talked about how he'll get minutes if he keeps working hard as he's done in his cameos, and he's got a start today, which he's earned given recent impact performances against Real Madrid and Crystal Palace. And look, it's a bit of a cliche, but you don't win the lottery unless you buy a ticket, and he bought a ticket. He took his shot, and it ended up he's very fortunate. A goal's a goal. And he's earned that tonight, because I thought Savinho was incredibly positive. He was running at people all night, be it on the left or be it on the right, and he was probably like the most consistent attacker we had tonight. And I think he's finally, finding a bit of rhythm. He's starting to feel, especially given there was a lot of speculation around him. It's very hard to ignore as a young lad, and I think he's probably starting to feel settled again in his skin, and he's starting to get more minutes, and he will, of course, with Doku out for a couple of weeks as well. Yeah, I thought he had a really good game tonight, and he was probably up there with Shirky as one of our best players.
I think we're going to see him enter the shot in just a second now. Another academy graduate getting his debut under Pep Guardiola, Charlie Gray, 17. There he is there, number 59.
He's so young he doesn't realise it's a two-way glass yet.
I mean, first of all, I think let me start with that stat. 37th academy graduate to get a debut under Pep Guardiola. shows you the importance Pep is in bringing these players through. But also, we know he doesn't start them, Luke, unless he believes in them, and it's the strength of character of the academy as well.
Yeah, 37, like you said, in the best part of 10 years, that's like four a season. It's showing how many lads are getting a chance to come through. And like we always say, Phil Foden is going to be that one they're looking at, the bright star up there they're going to be looking at. And these guys coming through have got the best players around them to come through, and Pep as well. He's the man to bring them through. It's
a bit of like behind the scenes kind of info this, but Harrison Miles stayed with us throughout the game, and I loved it because Harrison was watching, and when Charlie came on, his face lit up. He was absolutely buzzed. He was so happy to see his mate, who he's actually roomed with before, make it on the pitch. And he was saying during the game to me, they look at the players who are in the position that he thinks, well, if it's Charlie, he could maybe be next. Yeah. And seeing him get on the pitch tonight, only 2-0 by the way. I know we were 2-0 up, but in recent years, Pepper's waited till maybe 3 or 4 goals up to bring on the young lads. To get on the pitch tonight, you can see the direct influence on the academy lads next to us. He was buzzing. He was excited to see his teammate, his friend get on the pitch. And symbolic, as we were chatting about, he saw his phone who comes off for them as the handover. Yeah, and I was delighted for the lad as well. A local lad from around here, getting on the pitch, looking good, looking composed as well. It looks like he wanted the ball. A nice pass immediately in behind the full-back. And it's big. It's absolutely massive for the club. And he's been involved in a quarter-final of the Carabao Cup when the game isn't dead yet. There's still 10 minutes left against the Premier League side, and he's helped to see the game out. That's huge, not just for him personally, but for his friends, for Harrison Miles, for the rest of the academy. And I think it's incredibly important. I think it sends a message throughout the entire club. Yeah, it really, really does. And another one who's leading the way in that as well, Divine Mukasa. Absolutely. Wasn't on the score sheet tonight, Luke, but he was involved. What did you make of his performance, getting played the full game as well? It's another full game, pretty much. I'm pretty sure against Huddersfield, he had the best part of the game. He got the assist in that one. And throughout this whole campaign, that's why it's so important to stay in and win these games, because we've changed so many players tonight, but they've all got to run out. They've all got that hunger in them to go and get in the team for the next game. If there's a standout performance, will they start the next game? Will they feature more? We're now, like you said, into the semi-final. That's 2 more fixtures these guys have got a shot at playing in. It's then potentially, if we can get through that final and some silverware they could get their hands on. And we've seen it before when Phil Foden was coming through the ranks playing in that Carabao Cup. Pretty sure he was the player of the game against Aston Villa back in 2020. So that's the exact mark we're going to be looking at, and it's a first shot at silverware in a season. I hope we'll see some more of it. Absolutely. Let's see what our commentary team made of that result at full time. We can now head down to pitchside with Alistair Mann and Kit Simons.
Thanks, Kel. So City through to the Carabao Cup semi-final. Kit Simons has been alongside me all evening. Kit, I think you described that as just a very professional job done.
Yeah, it was. We said Brentford wouldn't make it easy, which they didn't. I don't think they really posed that much of a goal threat. I thought they might have done a bit more of that, but very professional performance, like you say, and City were worthy winners. And pleasing for Pep how well those who came in did tonight. Yeah, we spoke about after the Leverkusen game when he made 10 changes and players had an opportunity, didn't really take it. I think tonight he'll be pleased with the performances from a lot of the boys who got given chances tonight. So that's a pleasing thing. The one negative was the injury to Oscar Bob, which is a bit of a concern and a bit of a worry for him, especially such a busy running. I mean, it's obviously poor for the player himself, but from a squad perspective, so many games coming up, got players away anyway, few injuries, so we need to look after and manage this squad at the moment. One major plus tonight was surely Kuzanov. He must have impressed you as a centre-half. Yeah, I thought he was excellent. I mean, he's so quick. His recovery pace is absolutely phenomenal. He needs to calm down and slow himself down a little bit at times, some of his decision-making, but just that electric recovery pace it's brilliant to watch, and it's great to see. There was once where Sharda got the wrong side of him, goal side, he's through on goal, and Kuzanov just burns up the ground and gets his body back in front of him. And it's like brilliant defending, it's great to see, and having that pace at the back is always very reassuring, I think, to have as a team. Very congested looking fixture list coming up. What in particular, Pep Guardiola will say to himself, I can keep giving the players who came in tonight responsibility. That must be the biggest plus of all with his schedule. Absolutely, it's going to be, still fighting on 4 fronts. It's going to be a huge squad effort, and every player in the squad's going to be used, going to be utilised. and going to have to be up for it and ready when they get their opportunity. And I say that's why Leverkusen was so disappointing. But tonight, I think, has exercised a few of those ghosts, if you like, and I think Pep will be feeling a lot happier now about calling on other members of the squad as and when they're needed, which they're going to be.
Well, just one final thing to debate is a potential semi-final opponent. Chelsea already through, Newcastle and Fulham, as we speak, currently drawing, and either Arsenal or Crystal Palace. One way or another, it's going to be a tough old 2 legs, isn't it?
Absolutely, but really, really exciting, and like I say, you now get to this stage of this competition, and it's really interesting. You want to say all the teams want to go and win it, and there's going to be some good games.
Thank you, Kit, as always. Kit Simon's on commentary duty with me tonight. A terrific night for the Blues. I think the draw probably in about maybe half an hour or so we'll find out who City are playing. But whoever it is, it's going to be a tough one. Back to you.
Thanks, Kit, and thank you, Ali. Always bang on the money. We're not long till that draw. It's going to happen after the current Newcastle and Fulham game, so probably around 10:15, 10:30. That score is currently still 1-1. Bringing that conversation into the studio. Is there a preferred opponent? I mean, as we know, it's an added 2 games as well, which is going to be difficult in an already very busy time. But yeah, is there an opponent that you'd...
Well, either Arsenal or Palace would be very tough. We know what both those teams can do. Chelsea are going to be wanting... They've won a couple of trophies actually pretty recently, so they're going to want to add to that under Enzo Maresca. And
Newcastle's
Yeah. We'll see on that. Our next opponent, then we turn our attention to the Premier League. And Pep, he has said, as much as we want to get to the final, we know how important these games in the Premier League are, especially wanting to keep that pressure on the top spot. 2 points behind Arsenal, who I must say got very lucky with them 2 own goals against Wolves at the weekend. But West Ham coming up, there is no easy game, but they're not in great form at the moment, Stephen.
No, you'd think West Ham at home is one that we should, get 3 points. So West Ham, they've sort of struggled for identity really this season. They're thrashing around a little bit. They have good quality though, obviously. Bowen's one of the best forwards in the league still, and they can give anyone trouble, but it's just more the football. I know a few West Ham fans are they're not really happy with what they're producing right now. They're not particularly great going forward. Defensively, they've been really suspect. But you don't take them seriously, you can slip up. It's easily done against any side in the Premier League. I do think, though, we'll be looking at this one, hopefully bringing back a few players today who didn't start. Obviously Foden came off, but he didn't start. With Vardiel, likewise Ruben Diaz, Donnarumma, Erling Haaland, a few players there with a decent rest. Shirky came off earlier, at least. Some people have had a bit of a rest today, and Bernardo, of course, substitute as well. You think we'd have enough to beat West Ham at the weekend?
I did like as well seeing Núñez come on, but playing in his more natural role of centre mid as well. That was nice to see. We can go ahead of Arsenal if we win. They don't play till 8 p.m. Is something
Everton as well? It's not easy for Arsenal.
That as well. Do you reckon that's so true?
Psychologically, yeah, you want to make sure you get yourselves in front. And if you look at our last 3 weeks, we've had 6 wins on the spin now. So if we can make it 7, move into the top spot.
Then Jack Grealish will win it for us.
Does he's a available?
Well, against Arsenal.
I think there's a few players out, unfortunately, for Everton, but we'll see if they can do a job for us.
Yeah, that would have been written in the stars.
I know, wouldn't it?
That would have been one of those football moments. Gents, an absolute pleasure as always. What a night and what a result. Manchester City through to the semi-final of the Carabao Cup. We'll find out our opponents in just under an hour's time. And of course, we're enjoying all the festive fun here at Manchester City, and hopefully you are too if you are celebrating around the world. Our boys in blue have been doing just that here in Manchester. Erling Haaland, Ruben Diaz, Rico Lewis, Savinho, just to name a few, visited Royal Manchester Children's Hospital earlier this week to spread some Christmas cheer. I think it's always such a nice video when you see the players going to do that. That is all part of this very special kind of project that City and the community are doing. It included as well over 1,300 gifts that were donated to children there, and it saw the group chatting away and meeting some of the children in the hospital. They posed for pictures, met their families as well. So we're going to leave you with that. And of course, you can go on and find out more about City and the community's work and support their work on the Manchester City website. But we're through to the next round, and I'll be back with you at the weekend as we take on West Ham in the Premier League. Until then, enjoy the rest of your week and good night.
Maria.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Hello. Wow.
Thinking like I used to have one of these to play at home. So.
bat and I'll try and bat bat. You can bowl me out. This will be good, huh? Fingers crossed. This will be good.
Ha ha ha!